Okay, here's the Unit 0 review. Okay, the first section tells you to evaluate, so pretty much you're solving. All right. Um, so for the first two, we don't have values for x or y unless you look here. Here's my values for x or y. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to evaluate these. So we're going to sub in the values for x. So the value for x is 5. So anywhere we see x, we're going to put 5. Okay, and if it's 4x, that means 4 times 5. That's why I write it like this. All right, 3 times y. And y is 2. And then x squared, which is 5 squared. All right. Order of operations tells us to do the exponents first. So I do 5 squared first, and that's 25. Could bring everything else down. All right, now I have some multiplication here. That's next with my order of operations. Remember, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. There's no parentheses, there's exponents. Now we're on to multiplication and division. 20 plus 6 plus 25. Now we're on to addition and subtraction. We have all addition, so we do 20 plus 6 plus 25, and we get 51. All right. The next one is, let's pick another color for the next one, blue. All right, the next one is 3a minus 3 in parentheses times b cubed divided by 4. Now b is 2 and a is 4, so wherever we see an a, we're going to write 4. So it's going to be 3 times 4 minus 3, and then b, which is 2, cubed divided by 4. Okay, now we have two sets of parentheses. We have to work in each one of them, and we could split them up if we want to. We could do them both at the same time. Okay, but I have multiplication within this parenthesis, the first one, 3 times 4, so I have to do that first. And I have exponents before division here, so 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, divided by 4. Okay, simplify this more. 12 minus 3, and 8 divided by 4 is 2, and I'm left with 9 and 2. Now remember, the parentheses, this shows that it's multiplication. 9 times 2, so that's 18. All right. Number 3 is order of operations. There's no subbing in values. It's just straight out. We have all the values. We have all the integers we need. Okay, so first we're going to do our PEMDAS. No parentheses here, so we go to exponents. We got exponents. All right, 4 squared, which is 16. So we bring everything else down. Now we have multiplication and division. 2 times 16. Use a calculator if you need to. And then we have addition and subtraction, or just addition here, and we get 41. Alright, number 4 is 3 plus 1, which is in parentheses. Okay, so we're going to do that first. Parentheses first. Bring everything else down. It's kind of like a mustard color here. Alright, exponents next. We do have exponents. 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. Bring everything else down. Alright, I'm going to rewrite it here so I have a little bit more room. Alright, now we move on to multiplication and division. Remember, they go together, as well as addition and subtraction. And it's whatever appears left to right. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Bring everything else down, and now we're on to addition and subtraction. 4 plus 3 is 7. Number 5. Okay, we kind of have to look at this example as the numerator and the denominator separated by parentheses. So we do the work first in the numerator and denominator, and then we're going to do them separately, and then we'll divide at the end. Alright, so we have 12 plus 2 to the third power. Now we have to do the exponents before we do any addition. So we're left with 12, and then 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, or 8. Alright, we have parentheses here we have to work on in the denominator, so we're going to have 12 minus 2. Now 12 plus 8 is 20. 12 minus 2 is 10. 20 divided by 10 is 2. Okay, don't forget to divide in the end. Alright, number 6, the little mixed review. We're back to subbing in the values for the variables. So x is 2, so I'm going to sub in 2 for x. And y is 4, I'm going to sub in 4 for y. 2 cubed, I've seen it 3 times now on this page, I believe. 8. 4 squared, 4 times 4. And now we have 8 over 16. Now if you calculate that, you're not going to get 2. This is 2. Notice how the numerator is greater than the denominator. The numerator is less than the denominator, so we're going to have a fraction. We're going to have something less than 1. Alright? And if you know how to simplify fractions, we know that 8 goes into both 8 and 16. So we can reduce this fraction to 1 over 2. If you use your calculator, that's fine. You just divide 8 by 16 and you get 0.5, which is the same thing as 1/2. Okay, but it's not 2. It's not 2. Alright, let's scroll down a little bit to number 7, 8, 9. Oops, and I lost it. Okay. Number 7, 8, and 9 are kind of word problems. Number 7 says the 9th grade is planning a dance. It costs $10 for each student to go. The teachers have collected $1,220. How many students went to the dance? Okay, so it costs $10 per student to go, right? Alright, and they collected 1,220 students. So we want to figure out how many students went. Alright, how can we figure this out? Well, if it's $10 times each student, then it's 1,220. Okay, how can we change that so that we can figure out how many students? Okay, mental math, if we were doing 4 times the number equals 12, well, we know that 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, same thing here. What we could say is, alright, then if 10 times s equals 1,220, then we could do 1,220 divided by 10 to figure out the number of students. So 1,220 divided by 10, well, is, you could use a calculator if you want, or you could do it old school. Just cross out the zeros, and you get 122. So the amount of students equals 122. Alright, number 8, you have a square desktop. If one side of the desktop is 12 inches in length, what is the area of the desktop? Alright, so we have a desktop, and it's a square. That's a terrible square. Yikes. Okay, so let's make my square desktop. That's a little better. And one side is 12. Well, what do we know about a square? Squares, all the sides are the same, right? So if one side is 12, the other side is 12. Alright, how do we find area? Well, we do 12 times 12. And we get 144 inches squared. Okay. Next one, we want to find the area of the shaded region. So just this part here. How can we do that? Alright, so we have a rectangle, kind of, and a hole. There's a little rectangular hole cut out of this rectangle. It's taken away. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the big rectangle and we're going to take away the small rectangle. Alright, so 6 times 4. 6 by 4 is my small rectangle and 8 by 13 is my big rectangle. So I know 6 times 4 is 24. That's the area of the small rectangle. And then 8 times 13 is the area of the big rectangle. That's 104. Alright, so if I do 104 minus 24, I'll get the leftover area, which is 80. Alright, number 10, 11, and 12, we have to use mental math to solve the equation, which means we have to figure out what can go in here to get my answer. Alright, so 3 minus what is 7? Alright, this one's a little tricky because if you choose regular numbers, like, not regular numbers, positive numbers like 4 or 10 or whatever, and you try it out, you do 3 minus 10. Well, 3 minus 10 is negative 7, so that won't work. You have to go into negative numbers. Okay, and the answer here is negative 4. Okay, so you have to kind of guess and check here. Alright, 3 minus negative 4 equals 7. 3 minus negative 4 is just like 3 plus 4. Alright, so this one's a little difficult right out the gate. Okay. Number 11 says 4w equals minus 6 equals 18. So 4 times what number minus 6 equals 18? Well, let's do what do we know times 4? Alright, so we know, let's see. Let's figure out what number can I put here first. Okay. Alright, what number minus 6 is 18? Let's ask ourselves that question first. Alright, and if you guess 24, you're correct. Alright, so 4w is there, so we know that 4w is the same as 24. Alright, 4 times what number is 24? And if you guess 6, you're correct. Alright, so we get w equals 6. Alright, number 12, what number minus 3 is 18? We should get 21. 21 minus 3 is 18. Okay, kind of reverse. So let's start with the toughest one and work their way down here. Okay, determine if x equals 4 is a solution to the given inequality. Alright, so all we have to do is see if this works. So we have 5 times 4 plus 2 is less than or equal to 22. Alright, let's go simplify this. 20 plus 2 less than or equal to 22. 22 is less than or equal to 22. Yeah. So I write yes. Okay. Next one. Trying to see if 4 works again. So we're going to plug in 4 for x. 40 minus 20 greater than or equal to 13. 20 is greater than or equal to 13. So I write yes. Right? 15, 16, 17, and then we might have to go into another video here. Alright, 11 less than a number. Less than means subtraction. Is less than is the inequality sign. And remember, less than is that tricky one that flips around. So we have this. Alright, the product of a number and 3 is 18. So we're multiplying 3 and a number, and it equals 18. 7 more than, that's a tricky one. The product of 4 and a number is less than or equal to 11. And we're going to have to go to the other video to finish that.